What happens when a man steps in as father to a toddler that is not his? Today we're going to be talking about Mel Daw's Read the Room. Now, she didn't shy away from this complicated dynamic, but I have to tell you, it made me feel some kind of way. And don't get me wrong, I love the book. The book was great, but um, we're going to be talking about parenting, discipline, and trusting your child with other people. So, this is not a full review. This is a partial review on something that stuck with me. And I just needed to get it out. We're all book cousins. And so I figured, who better to talk to about it than you, right? Okay. So let's get into it. My name is Raquel. Welcome and welcome back. Also, I have notes. So I'm going to be looking away, but that's just part of the game, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of give just a little overview of the book. So in the book, there is a girl. Her name is Rhea. Rhea leaves home. Just her mom puts her out. And also, before I get started, this is not a spoiler-free video. So if you don't want spoilers, exit stage left because we're gonna get into this. Anyway, so Rhea leaves home. Her mom puts her out. Um, she goes, gets a job, has a baby, gets another job. Something happens at the job. She has to leave immediately. And she gets to a place where these guys come, and she calls it nice nap. Instead of kidnapping, she calls it nice nap. Because the guys come and they kind of take her away. They kidnap her, really, but they're very kind and very careful, and they're just very nice to her. So they're not like the typical kidnappers. She gets to this place. The guy wants to talk to her, and so he tells her that I need to protect you. Now, we find out that her son is um, being babysat by the guy's mother. The guy's name is Lo AK. And so Lo AK is the actual guy who is protecting her from another guy. Lo AK's mom is childcare for Rhea's son, whose name they call him Jedi. His name is Lucas, but his nickname is Jedi. So he's protecting her, he's sheltering her. They're in close proximity all the time. They're in this house. So as they're in this house, they wind up getting into a relationship. Now, this is where we're actually going to start. So they are this book, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I can tell, it probably spans over about 6 months. So maybe for the first 2 months, he's protecting her. And this is my guess. It doesn't say this, but this is there are some timelines in there, but like I can't remember exact timelines, but in my head, this is the way it goes. First 2 months, he's protecting her. The next 4 months, they're in a relationship. After they have decided that they're in a relationship, Lo immediately starts to treat Jedi as his son. So he is spending time with him. He is teaching him. He is tucking him into bed. He's just doing everything that a father would. And that part of the story, I loved it, especially because it is not his son. The way he cares for him, if they did not say that that was not his father, you would not know. And I love that. This book is so sweet to me. I love it. But I still got a little cross stuck in my throat from it. So I kind of had a problem with her. Like, I understand that they are in a situation and they're staying in this house under the idea that he is protecting her. I understand that. But once he was no longer protecting her, or maybe he still is protecting her, they kind of don't make a distinction that I can remember between that. Because later on in the book, it seems that this guy is still after her or whatever. If you want to protect her, why don't you just set her up somewhere else? Send her to New York, California, Georgia. I don't know. Send her somewhere. Set her up. Give her a house. Whatever. If you care that much. I mean, like, why does she have to be in your house with you and your friends? You know, but of course, that's a part of the plot to the book. So it is what it is. I don't know, because we know it's a book, and that's cool. But like in my head in real life, I could not trust somebody like that. Like to just tell me, oh, I'm protecting you, and now I'm supposed to go along with it. Because you could very well be the person who's trying to get me. Maybe not in the same way that you're saying that that person is trying to get me. Like, I don't know your true intentions, because he hasn't even really told her what his intent is. To protect her, yes, but why even do you want to protect me? Why do you even care? Like, you don't know me. There's nothing about us that connects us together that makes you feel so deeply for me that you just want to care for me. And so you have to be careful about people' ulterior motives. I kind of halfway feel like he wanted to get with her. And this was his way of getting with her, because he did not have to do all the things that he does. So if you read this book, or if you have read this book, then you will see some of the things that he do, and they are most definitely over the top. It gives me the impression that he already wanted to be with her. He had plans on making Jedi his son. Like, he just seemed like he wanted a ready-made family to me. I don't know. I don't know if he just wanted her or if he wanted the family. I don't know. But it definitely seems like it was a plan of his. It didn't just come about like she was there and he was kind of like, I kind of like her. No, it seems like this was something that he planned ahead of time. So immediately they get into this relationship. And the first thing that happened that made my antennas go up was the guy Lo comes in with her son, and he's talking, Lo is talking to Jedi, and Jedi calls him daddy. And she's like, so that let me know that they did not have a conversation about her son calling him daddy. That was number one. So for a 2 year old, if you know, like, a 2 year old gets attached pretty quickly. You can, be nice to a child, a 2 year old. You can be nice to them. Like, they'll see you one time and you be nice to them. You come back around a week later, like, that kid loves you. You give them a sucker. Next week they see you, they'll be like, oh, like, you're the best person in the world. So you have to be really careful about that, because they get attached really quickly. And then what happens if it doesn't work out? What does that leave that child? So does this keep occurring? Like, her next guy comes in, and within 2 months she's in a relationship, and then her son is now calling him dad. Like, how many dads are you going to have in this one lifetime? She just met this guy. Oh, and I know what it's I know that being a single mom is difficult. I know that. That is not nothing that anybody has to tell me. I understand that um, different elements of being alone, taking care of bills alone, um, taking care of a child alone. I understand all these different elements. At the same time, it is paramount that we put our children as well as our own safety at the forefront. Um, and I just don't think she did that. And I do know that she's fairly young. I don't know how old, they don't tell you how old she is, but in my head, she's maybe early 20s. So let's finally get into the thing that really, really got under my skin. The thing that just blew the lid off this thing for me. And like I said, there's going to be spoilers. So let's get into the spoiler. I'm actually going to read a portion of this book because I need you to understand where I'm coming from. Now, you've gotten the first part of the picture, how they've gotten together, how long they've been together, which seems like a span of about 6 months to me. And then the first thing is the little Jedi is calling Lo Dad, and she had no idea that this was happening. So let me go ahead and read this. This is Lo talking to Jedi, and this is Raina telling us what happened. So, all right, little man. Now, what you supposed to say to your mama? Lo asked a whimpering Lucas as they came into our bedroom. Lucas looked up at Lo, whose face was stoic with no smile in sight. My baby had tears streaming down his face. He stepped closer to me and fidgeted with his fingers. With his head down, he said, Mama, I'm sorry. Nope, Jedi. How did I tell you a man apologized? Lo interrupted Lucas with his question. Do it right. Do it the right way, man. Lucas took a deep breath, used his used the back of his shirt sleeve to wipe his eyes, looked at looked up at me, then poked his chest out. Mama, I apologize for throwing a plate on the floor and hitting you. I didn't read the room. I never do it again. I love you. My chest filled with pride at his apology. I'd work with him on how to pronounce apology later. I accept your apology. I love you too, baby. I climbed off the bed and squatted down before I opened my arms. Come give me a hug. He ran into my arms and wrapped his arms around my neck. I looked up at Lo, who wore a smile. Today, when Lucas came home from Mama B's house, he decided that he just had to have chicken nuggets and fries for dinner. That was not what I prepared for dinner, so that was not what he would eat. When I told him no, he had the nerve to tell Ethan to go get him some. Ethan told him no, so he started to show his ASS. I figured he just had a long day or missed his nap. Fast forward to dinner time when Lo was home. I set Lucas' plate of spaghetti in front of him. This little boy picked up his plate and threw it towards me. When I grabbed him to lift him out of the booster seat, he hit me. Lucas was far from a perfect, almost 3-year old, but he had never done anything like that. Lo stood up, looked at me, then asked me one question. Can I handle my son? After I gave him approval, he grabbed up my baby, went into the living room, and tore his behind up. I was like, what? He did what? Like, you didn't hear it? You didn't go in there? Like, what? But let me finish. After he sat on the floor with Lucas and explained to him why he spanked him and what he did was wrong, my emotions were all over the place. So I went into the bedroom. I shared with Lo. I never had to spank Lucas. Sure, I've given him a pop here or there, but I've never spanked him. What turned my emotions upside down was Lo's cautious effort to explain why he spanked him. When I was younger, if my mother spanked me, she never cared to tell me why. After Lucas loosened his arm from my neck, he turned around to face Lo. It was then that Lo's smile broke through. Come here, man. He scooped Lucas up in his arm and hugged him. You did good, man. Remember, you can watch Little Einstein's 3 sleep days, okay? Okay. I apologize for not reading the room. Lucas' voice was soft as he kept eye contact with Lo. Now, I must have missed something. Let me see. Okay, I can't find it, but what she later goes on to tell us is that they had a conversation and Lo asked her what kind of discipline was okay with her. What kind of discipline were they going was okay for him to for him and Jedi. She told him that it was okay to spank him. So he had her okay to spank him, but I'm wondering why would she even give her okay to spank him? Number one, he is 2 years old. But before I get into that, let me just say this. She also said that he spanked him 5 times with his hand on his bottom. Okay, now back to this. I don't understand why she would give her permission for this man she has known probably all of 6 months to spank her 3 year old child. Like, are you handicapped? Why did you not spank him? And I get that that's a man and all of that wonderful stuff, but he is 2 years old. She still has um she's she is still the prominent figure in his life. So it really does not take a man for a 3 year old. Now maybe if he was 12 or 15 or something like that, yeah, okay. But at 2 years old, I think she could have handled that herself. She did not need Lo to spank her baby for her. And like, in all honesty, I don't have a problem with spanking. That's not my issue. My issue is why did she not take care of that herself? He is a very small child. It does not appear that Lo has any children. I have never heard them speak of him having any nieces or nephews or any children that he takes care of. Although it does sound like takes really good care of Lucas, but I think that you have to be very aware when you are disciplining somebody else's children that that is somebody else's children. I mean, that's somebody else's child. And I don't know. Let me just say, maybe I don't like somebody else disciplining my child. Not in that way. Now, if you want to discipline my child, I think that I am okay with, as far as the setting, if they're friends or whatever. You can put my child in the corner. You can make my child go lay down and take a nap. You can make my child have a seat, turn off the TV. I will even be okay with you taking their devices. But spanking them, yeah, I don't think I'm okay with that at all. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think you would be okay with a step parent disciplining your child as far as spanking, um, as a toddler, even as, I mean, especially as a toddler? Um, yeah, let me know what you think about that, and what do you also think about Jedi calling Lucas dad without the mother's consent, without there being a conversation in place before that happened. Now, of course, I said this was not it's not an overall review. It is just about this specific part of the book. So if you have read the book, then you know that there is a lot of really uh, key points, a lot of really big things happening in this book that I did not mention. And although it is a spoiler video, I'm not going to spoil the entire book. But I am very curious to know what you guys think about that. Also, what do you think about moving in with someone so quickly? Like, let's just take the 2 months that he was protecting her out of the equation. Let's just say they knew each other for 2 months and then she moved in with a child. I think that it's very different if you move in after meeting somebody 2 months and it's you, but moving in after 2 months and you have children or a child is something different. So let me know what you think in the comments. Also, don't forget to do all the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, share, and until next time, see you soon.